How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Today, we're going to be giving you guys 3 reasons why the Chicago Bears will shock the NFL in 2020. Welcome back to the show, episode 74 of Uncut. If you guys are new to the channel, before we give you guys these 3 reasons, do us a favor and subscribe. We're trying to hit 2.5 thousand subscribers by the start of the season. So click that red button to subscribe. Also do us a favor and click the bell for notifications whenever we post. And finally, if you are returning to the channel, do us a favor and click the like button because it definitely helps us out a lot. I am your host, Chris Maltby, and today, to give you guys 3 reasons why the Bears will shock the world and the NFL here in 2020, I'm joined with my co-host, Parth Shaw. Parth, the season is not far away. How excited are you for the start of the season?
I'm super pumped. I think we're 8 days till Mahomes and Watson kick it off on Thursday night. I'm excited to watch the game. I know they're going to be talking about Trubisky a lot, which is going to make us Bears fans very irritated, to say the least. But yeah, I'm excited that football's going to be back. 8 days left since then, and 10 days for, actually 11 days for the Bears to kick off in Detroit. In Detroit.
So the Bears kick off their 2020 season in 11 days at Ford Field. It's looking to be a very exciting season, and we think the Bears are going to defy odds, similar to the 2018 season, starting on September 13th in Detroit. So here we go. We've got 3 reasons for you guys as to why the Bears are going to surprise the NFL this fall. First off, I'm going to kick it off by saying I think the Bears' defense will return strong in 2020. You look at that 2018 defense that was oh so dominant, 3rd defense overall in the league. We saw Leonard Floyd in 2018, and he's obviously not a player that's on the Bears anymore, which kind of hinders towards my reasoning here. You look at Leonard Floyd in 2018, and he was pretty solid. Overall, the defense was great. Akeem Hicks was healthy. That's another big point. And the Bears' defense was able to basically shut down their opponents. They were the number 1 defense in the league against the rush, the number 7 defense in the league against passing yards, number 8 in the league against passing touchdowns. Overall, points allowed, they were 3rd, and overall defense, they were 3rd. Also, time allowed on offense to opponents, they were 3rd. So, long story short, let's see what the Bears do this offseason. They bring in someone who was incredible last year with 11.5 sacks in Dallas, in Robert Quinn. He played across from DeMarcus Lawrence last year, as we all know. He comes into Chicago. He's going to be ready to go. He was hindered a little bit throughout these 16 days of training camp that media was allowed at. But that being said, he's going to be ready to go for week 1, playing against the Detroit Lions, across from one of the best pass rushers in the league in Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's never been able to play across someone like Robert Quinn. And Robert Quinn, and it's not a knock on the DeMarcus Lawrence, I've said it all offseason, is Robert Quinn has never played across from someone like Khalil Mack. Secondly, the Bears, obviously they needed to move Eddie Jackson back to free safety, and they did that by bringing in Tashawn Gibson. Do we know if Gibson or Deion Bush will start? No, but all I know is that we're going to see a rejuvenated Eddie Jackson here in 2020. Finally, we saw the Bears have an issue on defense last year at the cornerback 2 position, and it's looking like Jaylen Johnson is going to be the starter there. So, overall, I think the Bears did what they needed to in order to revitalize their defense, and I think we're going to see very similar numbers. You look at the 2019 defense; they ended up 8th in the league. 21st against the passing, or 9th against the passing yards, 4th against passing touchdowns, 26th against rushing touchdowns, and 9th against rushing yards. Overall, I think we see numbers that emulate that 2018 team. Akeem Hicks, also, one last point, is back and healthy. I think that only helps this defensive line. Roquan Smith's looking to make a statement, hopefully make the Pro Bowl here. And I think this defense, yet again, is going to be completely dominant. And that's my first reason as for why the Bears are going to shock the world here. So, Parth, I'm going to pass it to you. Why do you think the Bears are going to surprise us here in 2020?
I think their quarterback play improves. I think in 2019 we all saw Trubisky never got control of this offense. The play calling was an issue with Matt Nagy. The running game was also an issue, but I'm going to strictly focus on quarterbacks here. Trubisky couldn't do the job. It was simple. He struggled at times with the wide receivers, learning the defense. He couldn't read the defense at all. And because of that, we were ranked 29th in points per game, 29th in yards per game, 31st in yards per play, and then 30th in the net yards per net attempt. So, I mean, we struggled there. As you can see, we were 52%. Every time we made it to the end zone, we get a touchdown 52% of the time, which is ranked 24th in the league. And that's honestly still really low to me as an offense that showed us potential back in 2018 when Trubisky had 24 touchdowns. I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns by himself as well, over 3,300 yards passing. He showed us that light that he could, improve and take his game to another level, which he wasn't able to do in 2019, where he had 17 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and took quite a big step back, and that led to the Bears bringing in a guy like Nick Foles, who's played with that Nagy system in Philadelphia and Kansas City, and now he's here in Chicago. And I think a couple days back, we all made a video on who we believe the starting quarterback will be. And I, as someone who's been a truther the whole entire time, said Nick Foles is going to take over at quarterback week 1. And I think that brings in stability at that position and more consistency. If we look at Nick Foles' career, he's been a backup most of his career. But the one year when he started in 2013, he had 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions with a passer rating of 119.2, which led the league.
With Bill Lazor as his offensive coordinator in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
He's now with the Bears.
Exactly. And we have Bill Lazor right here in Chicago now. And then he also played with John DeFilippo back in Philadelphia as his quarterback's coach during the Philadelphia's Super Bowl run, where Nick Foles was phenomenal, threw over 400 yards in almost all of those playoff games with 3 touchdowns each game. So he's back here. He's got Bill Lazor. He's got John DeFilippo. He's got Matt Nagy. And he has the tools with Allen Robinson, David Montgomery, who's going to be back, Tariq Cohen, who's a phenomenal pass-catching back. He's got guys like Anthony Miller, Riley Ridley, and Javon Wims, who he loves throwing to those guys. I've heard, during camp, he's been spreading the ball around. And then we also got 2 new tight ends that Philadelphia used their tight ends a lot with Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Now he has a chance to use, and Trey Burton, but we don't like speaking of him. But now he's got guys like Jimmy Graham, Demetrius Harris, Cole Kmet to use out here in Chicago.
Yeah, so those are 2 reasons so far. I've got the third one. But, the defense is going to improve. We hope the quarterback play is going to improve. And it definitely should, because we're going to see a revitalized Trubisky, hopefully, or Nick Foles out there. My third and final reason is kind of a confusing one, but it's basically that the weapons all over on offense have improved. And I expect, based off that, I expect not only a better pass-catching game, but also a better running game. So you look at David Montgomery. He recently sustained a groin strain and is projected to be on the shelf for 2 to 4 weeks. But that being said, I think the Bears will have a revitalized run game here. We need Tariq Cohen to return to his 2018 form. You look at Cohen in 2018, an all-pro first-team member as well as a Pro Bowler. He rushes for 444 yards, catches 71 passes for 725 yards, and 5 touchdowns, catching 78% of his passes. I think Cohen is going to be ready to go here to step into a bigger role. We know the Bears probably aren't going to bring in Leonard Fournette or Alvin Kamara, so guys like that are going to need to be able to step up. Taking one more look into the running game, we've got Cordarrelle Patterson, someone who the Bears transitioned to be a running back this offseason. You look at his success in New England when he was able to run the ball back in 2018, 42 rushes for 228 yards, also a couple of touchdowns there. The run game is looking to improve, and then we take a look over to the offensive line. It's not the greatest, I must admit. People have been raving about how good James Daniels has been playing this offseason, so that's something to look at. You bring in Germain Ifedi, might not be the greatest replacement for Kyle Long, but it surely is better than Rashad Coward and Ifedi did show some glimpses back in 2016, the former first-round pick when he was with Seattle at the tackle position or at the guard position. So he is back. I think the offensive line will be salvageable. And then finally, let's look at the tight end position, something that Parth segued almost perfectly into. You have to look at the tight ends and how much they have improved this offseason. We've got Jimmy Graham, the Terminator, Cole Kmet, the RoboCop, and they're looking to be able to really do it here in 2020 at a position that's so important in Matt Nagy's offense. Jimmy Graham last year doing better than the entire Bears unit at tight end, and we know Green Bay isn't, I would say probably isn't as capable as using their tight ends as they are used in Matt Nagy's offense. But Graham in 2019 had 38 receptions, 447 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I don't think that's something that anyone can complain about whatsoever. And then you head over to Cole Kmet. I mean, you look at his college stats, and he's still a raw prospect. I must remind you guys that Cole Kmet was playing baseball his first 2 years at Notre Dame. He's a multi-sport athlete, and he was able to get it done at Notre Dame. Head coach Brian Kelly has said that he's trending to be a player like a Kyle Rudolph, like a Travis Kelce, both of which came out of Notre Dame. And I think Cole Kmet is going to provide to be a great red zone threat in this offense as well. 43 receptions for 515 yards and 6 touchdowns in his senior season. Also 15 receptions for 162 yards in his junior season. He's only a raw prospect. He's going to continue to improve. And then the Bears wide receivers speak for themselves. Allen Robinson's going to be there no matter what. He's one of the most underrated players in the league. If Anthony Miller can stay healthy, he's looking to continue to improve. Darnell Mooney, a player who has shocked basically everyone, reporters and coaches alike, throughout this training camp process. And then Parth mentioned it, guys like Ridley and Wims who are vying for more shots. So those are our 3 reasons why we think the Bears are going to shock the world here in 2020, shock the NFL, whatever you want to say. Just to break it down, improve quarterback play, improve weapons on offense, which includes a revitalized run game that hopefully is going to be a little bit better, and then obviously the improvements on defense leading to a team that we look to mirror the 2018 success of this team. So that'll pretty much do it for episode number 74 of Uncut. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want more content from us, you can head over to our website, beareddown.com, to find more columns, articles, and blogs. We're posting stuff there basically every day now leading up to the season, and we're going to keep putting some great content on there for you. If you guys want to see some great written stuff, be sure to check that out. If you want to follow us on social media to see sneak peeks of podcasts, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Beared Down. You can also find my fan page on Instagram that's been very active as of recently, at the Shy Bears News on Instagram, and you can also find Parse at Trubisky Nation on Instagram. I'm sure that'll be undergoing a name change here very soon, but Parth, Shaw, man, it's been a while since we've rambled on this long in an episode, but that being said, the Bears are looking to shock the NFL here in 2020. I've got a good belief that they can return to hopefully what's like that 2018 form. Any last words?
I mean, we can. I mean, back in 2018, we played a 4th place schedule. Last year was a 1st place schedule. We played tough teams like Rams on the road. We had the Saints come visit Soldier Field, so it definitely was a little bit of a harder schedule. This year we play that 3rd place schedule again, which, can help the Bears out. So there's a lot of things in favor for Chicago. They're being doubted right now, and I think the Bears like being that underdog. I think Matt Nagy's taken on that role this offseason for the whole team. They're hungry. Can hope for the best. That's what I'm going to do. Be an optimistic fan.
Absolutely. 11 days until the season starts. Thank you guys so much for the support recently. We're going to keep pumping out content for you guys, so be sure to drop a like on this video if you made it this far. And if you are new to the channel, do us a favor and subscribe. I am your host, Chris Maltby. It's been an absolute pleasure. Bears fans, continue to stay hopeful for this season. There's a lot of negativity online, but that being said, I definitely think this team can turn some heads. So do us a favor and stay safe. And as always, bear down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.